this is going to be the actual Sun Gohan Adolescence, the mill deck, the one that will be basically be replaced by Vegito in the next set. A lot of these cards are going to be used in the next deck, so you're going to take a lot of this stuff to the next format. We got 4 copies of the 1-drop Trunks. Draw a card. Pretty simple, very self-explanatory. You're going to need some draw power in the deck. 3 copies of the Piccolo. You're going to be searching for a Gotenks and or an extra card, just depending on what you need. So he's pretty good. Then we got 3 copies of Pan. Draw 2, ditch 2. Again, mill deck. Everything's going to be about getting cards in the trash, so she is super great early on, and 10k power. We got 3 copies of this Sun Goten from FPO 3. He's an on-play. If you have 7 or fewer, you draw a single card. This card also has 10,000 power, so it's actually super useful. You'll probably play this in the Trunks early on. Try to get them in the trash for a specific reason. We have 3 copies of Gotenks on play. Add a life from your deck to your hand, then draw 1, discard 1. And 15k power, and 15 attack power, 10,000 power. We're only running 2 copies of this Vegeta. He's okay. I like that he self-awakens, so you could potentially get yourself to flipped over a little bit faster. The critical is nice as well. It's a nice little surprise. If you don't see him, though, it's not the end of the world. Like, if you mill him, it's not a big deal. This card right here, fantastic, Gotenks. So he's an activate main. Place this card in the drop. If you have 10 or more, 10 or more cards, you can play a Goten and Trunks with a cost of 2 or less. So the draw power. So he basically, you ditch him, you grab the 2 Gotens, so the Goten and the Trunks, you draw an extra card for each of them. So he's just great for just getting more cards in the trash. And he's a 20k body, so you attack, try to clear something off the board, ditch him, get some draw power, which is super nice. 3 copies of the Sun Gohan Adolescence. If you have 10 or more in the drop, on play, grab an extra card. Doesn't have any other requirements. It just has to be an extra card with Saiyan and Earthling. So super, super valuable. 3 is enough. You're probably only ever going to play 1, but 3 is still good to have. We got 2 copies of this Sun Gohan Adolescence. You could probably bump this up to 3 if you want to. I only have it at 2, literally only because I have 2, but I think 2 is honestly enough. I want to play test it with the 2, see if it needs to be bumped up. I don't think it does though, because if it gets trashed, there's only one other way to play it. 2 other ways to play it. 3 copies of this Gotenks, probably the best Gotenks in the entire format. On play, ditch 2, and then you're going to bottom deck something with 3 or less. He can be utilized with the Vegito 3 cost from set 2, the one that reduces everything on the board by 1. So those combo can get rid of Jiren if you do want to put that in. If not, this is still going to get rid of a lot of annoying stuff. We are running 4 copies of this Vegito. This Vegito gets you out the 5 or 6 drop from your drop. So this card, you're going to want to see this card probably in the trash 2 out of 3 times. So you're going to want to see probably 3 of them in the trash and maybe 1 in hand, because you'll probably only ever play it from your hand once. 15k power is decent, so you could still attack early game with it. You're probably not going to want to because you want to get the Vegitos out with it. We are running 1 double striker. If you trash it, it hurts because you'll never get it back again. But actually, can that get taken out by that? No, it's 4. Yeah. So yeah, you'll never see it again, which is not a fun feeling. We are running 2 of the 5 cost Vegitos here. On play, 5 or less, return it to the hand, and then 7 or less when you are tapped, untap them, which is pretty nice. So it's just a great little game finisher, trying to close off the game with that guy, and you can get him out with the other Vegito. Now for the all-star of the deck, 3 copies of Vegito. If you have no cards in your deck, you don't lose. You just keep playing. His effect actually happens after you attack. So you attack, then you activate his effect to restand him. Then you choose a card in your bonus battle area and return it to the hand. Doesn't have a cost requirement. And then you're going to mill 5. So this card can be good. The reason I included this Vegito in here is because he has the effect first. It's an on play instead of basically after you attack. Because this can't get rid of Jiren. This can. Well, sorry, he can get rid of it, but you get rid of him in the second time, which is not helpful to you. So you'll want to play out this one instead. Get rid of it, and then still do the same attack. It's a little bit weaker, but it gets around certain things and just has more options in the long term. This one is controversial. I've heard both sides. I'm running the super combos. I have heard many people say that you shouldn't run it because you probably are going to mill it. And that is true. However, there is 14 cards, if we're minusing the card that is unusable in your life, that you could see this in your starting hand and in your life. That's 14 times these can be here. I have had probably 3 games where I have seen all 4 of them. And I have probably had 6 games where I've seen 2. I still like to have 40,000 combo power because the opponent's thinking that you're going to mill them. So when you have anything more than 2, they're like, are you kidding me? You still have that? So it just gives you that little bit extra defensiveness because this deck has no defense, which is frustrating. 2 copies of Galactic Donut. With the leader effect, you can make this card 0, which is kind of nice. Basically, you're going to stop something from attacking. And it doesn't, not like it doesn't untap, it just doesn't attack. So like you could use this on, I'm going to pick on Jiren forever, but you can use this on Jiren so that he won't be able to untap next turn so that you're able to then go for the kill the final turn. But you can also draw 2 cards. That's what I like about this card specifically. 3 copies of Overwhelming Confidence. Probably the best card in the deck in terms of extra cards because you're going to mill 3, draw a card, then you're going to play a 4 or less Saiyan from your drop into the field, which is really nice. You have a lot of targets. You have Gohan, Gotenks, Vegito, and technically anyone less than that because it doesn't have to be exactly 4. So you have quite a lot of targets that you can utilize this with. You're probably only ever going to utilize it for those 3, but the fact that it helps you mill as well can be super helpful for getting those Vegetos in the trash. And then the last cards, just the amazing hidden potential. On play a Gotenks or a Gohan. But you also get to reduce something by 1. So this card alone, with the Gohan, gets rid of Jiren. Goodbye, Jiren. So that's why this card can be more beneficial to this card. It really just depends on what's on the board, gives you options. And again, even if you mill all 6 of these, the Gohan can get it back. So you could still see it at least 3 times. But yeah, that is the mill deck here. Let me know what you guys think about it. Playing this deck, I will say it's a little stressful because I'm so used to having cards in the deck that when you get to none, you're like, I don't like this. But that's the fun of it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're excited for Vegito and basically what will be replaced by all of this. But I'm excited for this set and the next set.